All right, let's get into a story that is, well, it's a fascinating and honestly a pretty weird modern parable. It's a story all about love, technology, and what happens when a clever solution spirals into a much, much bigger problem. So, everything really boils down to this one simple question. I mean, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? But as we're about to see, this question is way closer to reality than you might think. Let's break down how one programmer found himself in this exact spot. Okay, so our story kicks off with a character that a lot of us can probably relate to, a programmer. And he's got a problem that might feel, a little too familiar in our super connected world. The setup is super simple. He's got a girlfriend, and she is, let's just say, very communicative. She's sending him messages constantly. And look, while that can be a great thing, it can also be, well, a lot to keep up with. So, being a programmer, he did what programmers do. He saw a problem, and he engineered a solution. The logic was pretty straightforward. First, he was just feeling totally overwhelmed. So, what does he do? He builds a chat program. He codes this thing to respond to his girlfriend's messages for him, automatically. And the most important part of this whole plan, she had absolutely no idea she was talking to a bot. Problem solved, right? Well, not quite. And here is where things get really interesting. See, the program wasn't just working, it was a massive success. Like, almost too successful. When he'd see his girlfriend in person, she would just gush about how much she loved his recent messages. His texts were suddenly more thoughtful, more engaging. In her mind, he'd become the perfect boyfriend, and she was falling for him all over again. And here's the kicker. The programmer, he was completely floored. He had no idea what these amazing romantic messages actually said. He was a total stranger to the conversations that were making his girlfriend fall deeper in love. He'd basically outsourced his relationship, and the new hire was doing a better job than he was. So this dumps us right into the middle of this huge philosophical puzzle at the heart of the story. If she's falling for words that he didn't even write, who or maybe what is she actually in love with? And this lays out the dilemma perfectly. On one hand, you've got the programmer. He's the guy she thinks she's talking to, right? The person she fell for in the first place. But then, on the other hand, you've got the program itself. That's what's actually writing the words. It's the personality she's talking to every single day, and it's the direct source of all this new happiness. Okay, let's make the case for the programmer. You could argue the program is just a tool, right? It's just an extension of his will, his desire to keep her happy. I mean, her love is built on a foundation that was there long before any code was written. Her love is for the idea of him, the person she believes he is. In that way, the bot is just a stand-in. But then, there's a really compelling case for the program. Think about it. Love and connection, they're built on communication. And who's doing the communicating here? It's the program. It's the personality she's connecting with hour after hour. So from that angle, you could say her affection is actually shifted to the thing that's providing that emotional connection, even if it is just a bunch of code. But look, this isn't just some fun philosophical debate. Our programmer has a very real, very practical problem on his hands. What on earth is he supposed to do now? He's staring down a few terrible options, and let's be honest, none of them are good. He could just confess everything. The upside? Honesty, a clear conscience. The downside? The relationship is probably over, trust completely shattered. Okay, so he could stay silent. She stays happy, the relationship goes on, but he's living a lie that could blow up at any second. Or, option 3, he could try to tweak the program, make it sound more like him. But what if she notices? What if she says, "You've changed"? I mean, she'd be right. This whole story, as strange as it sounds, is really a powerful warning and kind of a glimpse into our future. So for this last part, let's just zoom out and ask, why does this little parable matter so much in the age of AI? It all really comes down to this one word: authenticity. We crave what's real, what's genuine. It is the absolute bedrock of any meaningful human connection. But what this story shows us is how technology is starting to seriously blur the lines of what we even consider to be authentic. And that's why this isn't just some quirky little story. I mean, just think about it. Almost all of our relationships are filtered through technology in some way. And right now, companies are pouring billions into AI that's literally designed to mimic human emotion and connection. This programmer's dilemma, it forces us to face these huge questions. What actually defines a real relationship? And where do we draw the line between a tool that helps us connect and one that just replaces us entirely?
So, I'll just leave you with this final thought. The programmer used code to replicate the actions of a loving boyfriend, and it ended up working better than the real thing. As this tech gets more and more sophisticated, you have to wonder, if an AI can say all the right things, be perfectly attentive, and actually generate a genuine feeling of love in another person, what essential, uniquely human part of us is even left to offer? It's something we're all going to have to think about.